pitu pitu, yeah, 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 chicken and corn, a cup, yeah, mama, yeah, tum pitu pitu, tum pitu pitu pita, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is up? What is up, Scrub family? We are here with the 3XG Corona Cast, or 3XG Cast Corona Edition. And we're going to be talking about a few things today. And of course, with me, I have the 3XG boys. I have Jose, who did the intro for the show. Hello, Jose.
Hello, I am not talented at all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for bringing your lack of talent to the cast.
My pleasure. I bring it with me everywhere you go.
Thank you so much. And then, of course, we have Mr. Habibi, Frisco Foz.
Habubu.
And then we also have the most frustrated player in the world right now, Pat O'Neill, on our cast.
Hi.
Pat, just tell me, before we get started, how does it feel to lose to Strength of Legends twice in a ban list format, where basically everything is banned except for that card? How did it feel?
It's dumb, dude. I've already chewed out my friend for letting it be legal. I was like, it's just. I'm still salty about it. That's all you guys need to know. I'm just still salty about it because the format basically just boiled down to Strength of Legends and turning the tide decks. And then I was just like, the whole point of the ban list was to make a format where we play jank or like fun or interesting decks. It's not really fun or interesting if everybody's just on Strength of Legends or turning the tide in your whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that any different than standard constructed?
It's basically standard DBS right now. The turn sequences is draw a card, charge,
Pass.
pass. Until the game gets to like turn 7. The first person person to blink always loses.
This is true.
It's a weird time in Dragon Ball Superland. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is life in quarantine, because we're all quarantined right now. And I know that we've been trying to make as much content as possible, which is the reason why we're making these casts for our patrons out there. I know they want more Patreon focused content, and I feel like this is a really good way to do it. And I know that people like audio files, but I think quarantine life, I think we've all kind of just been trying to figure out what our lives are like without the Dragon Ball Super card game.
I just realized I'm a human being with feeling and no physical cards to play.
Real emotions.
Real emotions. I am a real boy.
Yeah. This is Rob. Frisco, how are you doing in the quarantine, man?
It's been rough, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's just we've been watching a lot of shows, playing with Weston. You know, Weston's my son, 18 months. You know, and it feels a little defeating sometimes.
You should know that I started watching. Me and the girlfriend, for some reason, started watching Sister Wives. And I watched Sister Wives from 2 p.m. today until 9:45 p.m. today.
Oh my god.
That is when you know.
I'll tell you what, that is some dangerous territory. What about you, Pat? What are you doing in quarantine?
As far as work goes, my workload feels pretty drastically reduced. Obviously, for you guys who don't know, I am a recruiter. Obviously, because everybody's indoors and many people who are not essential are not working, it makes it very difficult to do placements for jobs. So my workload has basically been reduced, like I'd say something like close to 70 to 80%. So like, I feel like I have a lot more time on my hands, which leads to two things. One, it lets me actually clear my backlog for shows, games that I have been putting on the back burner for literally years at this point.
The back boner?
Back burner. My bad. Yeah. So yeah, I was able to basically clear some of my backlog, and then also it gives me more time for salt.
All right.
You do have a lot of salt.
Yeah.
So, I guess before we get started down this road to the state of the game, I want to do something, a very important exercise during this time period, during the quarantine. And, Jose, I want you to tell me one thing that you love about the Dragon Ball Super card game right now.
Right now, I like how it's got its own identity. So I feel like it's starting to feel like its own game. I know it's taking... you have some attributes from other popular games, but I feel like it's got its own taste and its own I say like charisma about it. You know, like you feel like when you're playing the game, you feel like, oh, this is Dragon Ball. You know, it's not like a copy of Magic or a copy of Pokemon or anything like that. You know.
Frisco, what about you? What is your favorite part about Dragon Ball right now?
Uh, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't actually. I think the future is giving me hope right now with just like Unison and changing the whole concept of the entire format of what we have right now. I think with the current format with like just surge leaders and just the reactive gameplay and not having and just basically the first person to act loses, it just feels pretty bad right now. So I think just looking to the future is keeping it alive.
And Pat, this question is actually for you. What is your favorite part about the Dragon Ball Super card game right now?
I mean, it's actually for me. You're telling me it's for me.
This question is for you. I want you to think about what's your favorite part about it right now.
Hungry lady.
21's a good. Is that what you want me to say? No. I'm with Frisco here a little bit. Like, honestly, my favorite part about the game is that we're going into another exploration phase, which is Unison's coming out. Pretty much my favorite part of any card game is trying to figure out all the crazy jank you can do. So yeah, Unisons are a big deal, but I think we'll talk more about those, I think, in this podcast.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like there are some niche picks that I enjoy playing that are good right now, and I have a lot of hope for the future.
I want to add something to that in terms of like another thing that in terms because I also have a lot of hope for the future in terms of competitive play. That I don't count this downtime as meta, so we're gonna go into a crazy meta where we have DB5, DB5, and the new Unison stuff. I'm very excited about that too. So, like I expected. I actually wanted the Unison stuff to get a little bit delayed, so we would have like a longer time with longer than normal that we get when we get expansions. But I'm very excited that you never got to play with physical cards with Draft Pro 5. So I'm very excited about that too.
Cool.
For weird reason.
I would say my favorite part about the game right now is Zamasu super combo into Bojack. Or Zamasu super combo into Bojack into Bergamo, or Zamasu super combo into Bergamo, and turning the tide. That's probably my favorite part about the game right now. I do like that you can play control strategies that lead to having a finisher that for some reason no one plays competitively. So I think there's a lot of room in the format right now for some expansion to still happen. I don't think everything's been uncovered. I think people are just continuing to act like sheep. And just only playing the things that are winning instead of trying to take advantage of the fact that the metagame is a known quantity at this point. So I think that's what I like most about the game. And then, of course, the future. I think, like everyone touched on, I think the Unison stuff is really exciting. I think it just opens up new space, new things to do. Games are going to flow differently now with Unison cards, so I'm excited to see what happens as we get more previews. So I'm glad that we had this little pep talk for everybody. Remind themselves the Dragon Ball Super card game is great.
Oh, if we're gonna acknowledge a couple things that we like about the game, besides, I was just looking at it holistically. SS3, I'm really happy about right now because he's back. I really do think I like him a lot, and
we know.
Yeah, I know. SS3. What was? This is probably to tilt Pat, but Strength of Legend Goku is a tier 1 card, and people need to play it.
Yeah.
Now I'm done.
Strength of Legends isn't turning the tide, bro. Maybe somebody will play it in the same deck.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So Strength of Legends comes down to.
I don't know. I kind of like slapping, turning the tide on turn 6 with Androids. I actually like that.
Yeah, the deck is decent.
This
deck is decent. All right, so I guess now we'll go into, since we talked about things that we love about the game, I think it's time to talk about the state of the game right now. Trying to talk about the format. We've had a few constructive events. I don't know if people have been paying attention. First, shout out to Chris, one of our patrons and close friend of all of ours. He won his first major event this weekend, winning the PVC tournament.
Super proud of him.
Super proud. Man has been working around the clock on getting better.
Yeah, super happy.
Probably the hardest working person in the game right now when it comes to trying to get better. So
100%.
yeah, him winning was a huge deal. And winning with the same, very similar Surge Coup list than what's been winning lately, the ones that are like heavy red blue base. So starting with that note, do you guys consider that do you think that's the best deck in the format right now?
I do not.
What do you think? What's your reasoning as to why? Why do you not think so?
Because I think every weekend people have been adjusting, right? So it's like, oh, this thing won, so like, okay, I'm gonna try and counter it. So I think it was the best deck for that weekend for sure. But I honestly think that tapping your energy, tapping your opponent out, it's like the strongest strategy that you can do, hands down. That's because you're basically turning off everything for them. So I might be a little bit biased on that though, but
that's fair. And then
I think this, like you mentioned earlier, I think the most broken thing that you can do right now is go Samasu super combo into Bergamo, tapping out, and then go into Cell Secret or something. It's like crazy, but yeah, that's one. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if that deck is the best deck in format. I don't really think there is one. I think there's like 3 or 4 decks that are all like meshed together. I think that's one of them, but I don't think it's the best deck in format. I think if I were to go in an event tomorrow, it'd be something Surge Coup related, just because it has so many utilities and it has so many options of what it can do, and it just doesn't die to random secret, I should say.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. In every other deck, pretty much it does. So yeah, I don't think that version is the best version, but I think it's one of.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Pat?
I think it's the safest deck, and I think that's probably why everyone's playing it. Is because like its matchup spread is pretty good across the board, and if you're a good player, you should be able to win with the deck. I think that's why everybody's on it. I don't think it's the overall best. Because like when I think of best, I think of something that does like that's uniquely powerful and really broken usually. And I don't really feel like, aside from the fact that Surge Coup just gets to jam all of the good cards in one deck, I don't think it does anything broken. It just plays all really good cards and
all the good counters.
Yeah, and all the leader is just so generically good that it basically you're basically always playing tight, regardless of what you do, because every card in your hand in your entire deck basically plays itself. So it's like it's just really, really strong. I think that a deck like Jiren, for example, the Jiren Dogs deck, could be a better deck if more people actually played it and kind of figured out the nuances, and the potential counters or outs of things. Like Jose said, tapping your opponent out in this game is really broken. There's no float mechanic like in other games for the resources, so tapping out is like absolutely broken. It's like ridiculously broken. There are blue-yellow shells that could potentially be more broken. Honestly, like the red Kaioken's really good. I don't know why he's like $100. Like he's really good, but he's not like that insane. Honestly, it feels like Cooler is honestly the best part of that shell to me, because the Cooler actually turns off certain counter strategies to Surge Coup. Like that's where I think the main strength of the deck is, besides the actual just good stuff. Like that feels like the most underrated or underappreciated card in that deck, at least to me. But yeah, like there's still a lot of stuff out there. Strength of Legends, like Briscoe said, is probably a deck that could potentially be better than Surge Coup. And then obviously there's like the blue-yellow.
Bro, it's like peanut butter and jelly. Put them together, bro. Strength of Legends and Surge Coup.
Exactly.
You can do that. You can do that.
Absolutely.
Saying, like they're like at this point, it feels like the archetypes are, like the Jeskai Surge Coup deck, a Strength of Legend shell, a blue-yellow control deck, and then dogs.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is yellow. The format is yellow.
Exactly. Like I think, and that's what I meant to say, that I thought that the deck was not the strongest. It's just because you should exploit yellow. Yellow does everything.
Like there's almost no reason. There's no reason for you to not play yellow in this format, and I that's probably my least favorite part about the game right now, is that you basically have to play yellow.
And the only other strategy that could work is something blue, just because you have Dimension Magic and he can gain 2 energy on defense to like do more
And
actions.
you still have Zamasu. Like literally,
Yeah,
the only thing
exactly.
if you were choosing a leader, it needs to be a yellow leader or a blue leader, and only a blue leader if you are willing to play D Magic, Zamasu Super combo, and something like Bojack
Yeah.
as your rival.
And then you get bait into Cooler and GG.
So, I like me, like it's interesting that this specific list, right? Because this list basically started with Andrew Duvall and is basically almost like the same exact 50 cards in the main. This deck has won a total of 4 events for PPG's weekend.
That's
events.
insane.
It won.
That's insane.
Andrew won 2, Amani won 1, and then Chris won this weekend. So it's won 4 of the PPG events. And me, as you guys know, I have been begging for people to just play decks that play a longer game, because Surge Coup decks like this can't, like,
They can't.
they can't win if the game goes late. Like,
Yeah, if you just
they're
play a
just
very,
they're not being punished.
Yeah, if you were just playing a very turtly control deck that just tries to play things like Turning the Tide, or hell, even if your deck is just like Master Roshi Maximum Muscle,
Right.
or like
Absolutely.
Android 21 Violent Predator, like if your deck is just playing those cards, like what is Surge Coup doing to beat you?
And then,
It's a-
Go over the top of
yeah.
it.
And that's why also like SS3 would be a good contender, right? Because that's exactly what SS3 does. Frisco's list at least, right?
Yeah. No, it does. It does. I agree. I also think that this is it's me on my soapbox that I've been standing on for over a month now. Is that Dragon Ball's Negative Energy Overflow is the best secret rare in the format right now.
That's
Oh,
probably
absolutely.
also accurate because it is a zero cost board wipe.
Well, everyone's playing Surge Coup style or mid range style decks that are just accumulating a board. The reason why Surge Coup wins is because he gets to play these threats for cheap, and he just accumulates a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also has sweepers. In the
Correct.
Form of,
Yep.
Vegeta and Goku.
Yeah, so it's like,
It gets to play mid range and it punishes you for trying to play the same style of game. So
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
means that, guys, if you're trying to win against Surge Coup, you need to be one of the polar opposites. You need to either be in an extreme
Mhm.
aggro deck like Gohan or Bibbidi, or even Jiren Dogs. You need to do something that's extremely aggressive, or you need to just play something like a Piccolo or an Android 21 and just try to play for 6, 7, and 8 drop.
exactly.
Yep. Drop,
Oh, bro.
drop gigantic bombs. Yep.
Oh,
9 drops also. Strength of 11.
Agba put Guy Piccolo back on the map. Like that card is just dumb. Just the sequencing of the 3s, a 3-6-9, just to go into Super 17 is just absurdly easy now.
I agree.
Doesn't that song Get Low start with 369?
Damn girl fine.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree about Guy Piccolo. Like, that's another deck that I've been messing around with and playing around with, just with Ogma, like you said. And that deck just feels really strong because you just play a late game, and then you can either lean into Violent Predator for a win condition, you can lean into other cards for win conditions, you could play a Turning the Tide variant if you want. Like,
Yeah.
everyone is so focused on playing like the hand destruction version of Piccolo, which just isn't good because everyone just packs hate in their sideboard.
Exactly.
It's not only that, it also scales terribly.
Yes.
And we're trying to explain to you, you need to scale amazingly to win in this format.
Mhm.
You either have to win quickly, which hand destruction cannot do because it's a slow grindy deck, and it scales terribly.
I think the Cell hand destruction is a decent deck. I don't think it's tier 1, but I think it does hand destruction of what it's meant to do. But it's not the best. It's not a tier 1 deck or any stretch of the means. And I think it's a better hand destruction deck than Piccolo, but it's not a better Piccolo deck than Guy Piccolo, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying. The overall card quality isn't the same as just playing a like 3-color generic good stuff Piccolo.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. No, and then you can just play passively and then punish them with Super 17. For them to pour, because they generate the advantage by just using what they have in the life and swinging to draw. It's just like to what you were saying. It's like you have to do the power opposite, and hand destruction is not just playing into their strategy. You're not doing enough.
Yeah, no, I mean if you are the person that is trying to attack them and play battle cards on your turn and swing with them, you're just gonna get hard punished by Surge Coup mid-range strategies.
Yeah.
because that's what they need. That's what they need you to do in order for them to play the game. But if you're just like drawing, charging, and passing every single turn, then you've reversed
Exactly.
momentum. Like now they have to be the aggressor, which they're not good at. Because they just lose to negates, because if you negate their leader swing and they don't have something on board, then they can't play anything.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think that's an interesting thing. So, I mean, with this deck winning back-to-back weekends, I think it still needs to be on everyone's radar. But again, as we all talked about, I don't think people are playing the right types of decks right now. The finals was a Surge Coup mirror, where second place was just a red-yellow version of Surge Coup, and I think the reason why it lost is because it was just a red-yellow version of Surge Coup.
It doesn't have bean.
It doesn't have bean or deadly poison, or and I think Beer Super Combo is better than We Super Combo.
Yes.
Yes.
So that,
I would
and
do
then
that.
the other two decks in top four was Hatchak, which we all knew would stick around.
Yeah.
And then the other deck was Janimba.
Oh God, are you joking?
No, Janimba.
No, it was Janimba.
Man.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Janimba.
Lord.
Janimba will never go away until we go to 16.
Alright, so the thing is, Janimba could still hang in the format, but like, doesn't Surge Q just play no holds barred?
RNG, baby.
Yes.
No.
so then
It
how do you
depends.
win?
Yeah. I don't think the deck.
That's why you don't see me play Janimba anymore, because like, if everybody's just on Surge Q, no holds barred just beats you for free.
I mean, you just lose to the fact that your leader has to swing, and they just are going to play a billion battle cards on your turn.
Exactly.
That's actually accurate as well.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's why one of the best things you can do is Janimba, is counterintuitive as it is charge a dual color on one and then don't swing.
yeah,
Like for your first turn or two, like don't do it.
like,
Yeah,
I-
it feels
I-
ultra bad
If
though.
you're gonna get punished really hard, don't do it.
I think also the challenge is that Janimba nowadays is not the Janimba from back in the day, right? So Janimba now is trying like, hey, you're not gonna kill me,
Well,
but before it was like, I'm gonna mill you out, right?
yeah.
So
The-
like
the
now you're
problem-
playing into the
Yeah,
RNG part.
Yeah, it's exactly what you just said. That like in the first two turns of the game, you get royally screwed for swinging
Yeah.
into things. Almost every fair deck has that problem. Is that you swing into Surge Q, Bardock is like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you go like,
I'm gonna come crash the party.
well, yeah. I mean, Janimba swings, and then Surge Q goes tap 2 energy for Bardock, then Beer's super combo, untap a red, then play a cooler.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So Surge Q again is not playing the long game, right?
No.
So
No.
Janimba can't play the long. Can play as like their long game is as good or better than Surge Q's because the quality of your cards are roughly the same. They're about 4 drops. They're like largely just 4 drops or less. So why would you not try to just sit back and not have it? Why would you run into the Raiders War Cry?
right.
When you don't have the energy in the early game to deal with it.
Yeah.
Why not just wait until you have more energy for more counters and then start milling them that way? It's
Yeah.
not like Surge Q isn't going to swing and mill themselves 2 every single time.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Pat, and you were super eloquent explaining what I was trying to say. Like Janimba players shouldn't be going for like, oh, you're not gonna kill me because they will kill you.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
much pressure nowadays. You should go for the long game, the con game, mill them out. Mill
Well,
them, play your things. Try all your stuff has deflect. Try to mill them out. Blah blah blah.
Which interesting too is how like if Janimba were just to go back to that core and like you said in that matchup, like go back to playing demon swords, then it's like all you have to do, your opponent say the only card that's going to beat you if you're not swinging at them, the only card that's going to beat you is Black Smoke Dragon. You just deadly poison it and then demon sword it because you
Exactly.
have
If
deflect.
you don't swing, if you
That's
don't
what I'm
swing,
saying.
if you just play blue yellow Janimba versus Surge Q,
Mhm.
and you don't swing for the first 2 turns, wait till you get to 3 energies so that you actually have like counters and
Yeah.
responses to Raiders War Cry and stuff,
Yeah,
and then just play Demon Sword, like
Yep.
OP
I agree.
Demon Sword and stuff.
That-
You will win because
For-
you
Mhm.
outscale them.
that's it. That's the I've been saying this forever. Not publicly, but I've been saying this forever. It's like the Janimba that we were all scared of and hated was the original one that was milling you 12 cards a turn sometimes. The one right now is like, well, literally a helmet. They're just like, oh, punching back, like try to hit me, but now we can hit you.
Yeah.
Now we can.
Yeah, you just sit back on energy, and if they're gonna play like Raiders Warcry or something,
Yeah,
you just
now-
super combo and tap it down. Like
Because
go back to playing pseudo combo.
Because the thing is now everybody's playing multicolor, right? Tricolor most of the time. Now your RNG effect is far more significant. Now you're milling like multicolor cards. Now you need your milling check lands and whatnot. It's like you are putting the RNG pressure on them too.
You know what's ironic is that Janemba actually got the best counter card for them, which is the Jiren, which counters Gogeta 7, which was like the most card that they feared the most.
This is
Exactly.
true.
No,
It's
I
true.
don't think they, aside from no holds barred, I don't know what you were scared of in that matchup. They
Exactly.
just hang back for 2 turns and then start doing things.
It was a cheap, guys, because the biggest thing that Janemba had going for him back in the day was that you couldn't play battle cards on their turn. Now you can with all the Arrival and Bardock's, etc. Bergamos. It's like it just sucks. Like, yeah, you can maybe stop them from playing cards on their turn, but as soon as you start swinging, they're gonna develop board. It's gonna happen.
I'll tell you what. So playing against Raiders Warcry deck, and what was it? It was really funny playing when I was playing as Hirudegarn leader. When I was playing blue yellow and heavy blue, I was just winning those matchups because I was playing 4x of the Ultra Instinct Kamehameha. So I would just combo up to 25 whenever they swing.
Right.
So it's like it's just, and then I was playing 4 Zamasa Super Combo for Bojack. I was never dying.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I don't know why if you're playing Janemba, why don't you just lean back into heavier blue and play blue yellow, and then just play 4 Ultra Instinct Kamehameha, play your 4 Zamasa Super Combos, play your 4 Bojacks.
And Bojack mills a card.
So does the negate, and and you can bounce it with a Goku negate and get it back in the middle again.
Synergy.
You don't even have, like I said, you don't have to do like a whole lot. Like everybody's just don't swing into them and give them free stuff.
I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I'm definitely gonna build that Genesis that's intested.
100%.
No, it's probably great because again, like inevitability is what's gonna win you the game in this meta. Just don't be stupid and put yourself in the hole before you get started.
We're playing.
Yeah.
We're playing
Like,
as
I
Azorius
felt-
with no win conditions.
I know, but the thing is, like at Nats, when I felt I got to 5 energy with Janemba, I felt I could no longer lose.
Exactly. I'm not dying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like against like Tim when he was playing Pan, I was just like, all right, I just don't swing for the first like 2 turns because I don't want to get like hit by like a double shot Vegeta or like a Topo. That's another card that's just extracting my life, extracting cards out of me, and then also like dealing damage to them lets them awaken earlier and gives them a power turn. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Obviously, that's not the case with Surge leaders because they can just do it at any time now. But the point still stands. Like, stop being aggressive in the first 2 turns as Janemba. The 2 cards that you get from drawing in the first 2 turns is not worth having to block 2 Raiders War Cries.
Yeah, they awaken you on turn 2. That's crazy. If you're not careful.
Yeah.
What's ironic is that one of my favorite cards is the U11 or U1 Destroy Your Angel card, and Janemba can actually use it, which is like infinite removal.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, same,
I was
bro.
just thinking about that, dude.
Yep, that's also really good.
I love that card. That card is being severely underplayed. I love that card.
Okay, I'm gonna start building that right now.
Yeah, that card is especially good on your Awaken turn. Drop it, and then Awaken, and then pop, and then untap the 2.
Yep. You can use it more than once, so if you do it twice, you untap 4.
Exactly.
Yep. That card is very good for Janemba. It also it draws you a card as well, so it catches you back up.
Yeah,
on
no,
hand.
bro. The list
Wait,
for
It draws
this
you a card?
deck is
Wait,
sick.
did I misread this card?
Does it not? Is it?
No.
Or am I'm doing the green one. Is it the green one?
Yeah, the green one
Yeah,
draws
so
you
the
a card.
green one, I actually think that the green one is a little bit better than people give it credit. I could see that card seeing play because there's a negate that cheats the 2-drop Angel, the blue-green one, into play.
Yeah, but
So-
untapping 2 is that's
I know, but still paying 2
That's
to
the-
kill anything draw card is still decent.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
Spice
know.
Melouche. That's a Spice Melouche.
Spicy.
it's the spice.
Like if you're on a deck that can just take the game long enough, like I'll pay 2 energy to kill something and draw 1 every turn.
Oh yeah.
I don't see a problem with that.
Dece.
Seems decent.
No, bro. Just starting to make this deck list right now. It's like
Oh, you're building it? Okay.
I'm just throwing
Nice.
cards in it. Just
Yeah.
4 beans, 4 magics. I'm playing 2.
It's not so much the
It pretty much builds itself.
I was saying, the deck
I know.
list is like
4 Zamasu super combo, 4 Bojack.
we got it.
Damn
Like
it,
it's
we
a
got
playstyle
it.
adjustment. The list does matter, right? I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, but like the playstyle is more important for Janemba than the actual deck. It's
Yeah.
always been that way.
Yeah, for sure. You're absolutely right.
I'm like, that's why I always hated when people called it a helmet deck. I was like, if it's a helmet deck, then why is it the same people constantly topping with it, and then random
Dude.
people take Janemba and don't do well with it at all?
So, is there any value on playing Alter Reality?
I don't think
This
so.
is with the
I
no
don't
with
think
the-
so. No, I want more. We're at the point where like my one drops not only cantrip, but they get me a 19k dual attacker. I don't want to play a cantrip that doesn't add anything to the board.
Cool.
Dude, my one
Cool.
drop can be a 20k double striker that kills a guy, kills 2 guys potentially, and mills them a card. Why would I want to play a field spell for the same cost?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Guys, like seriously, like I know I'm gonna propose this like really crazy idea, and you guys can like tell me if I'm wrong or not. But like, can we just ban every arrival card? Can we just ban?
You
every
know
arrival
what's sad is I actually thought about it too, but
Can we
I thought
just
about
ban
all
every
the
single card with
ramifications
arrival?
of it. It just would be terrible, just because like cooler would just be like stupid, like the leader cooler just would not even be able to be a deck anymore. And Brawly 6, Brawly 6.
Casualty of war.
me-
I'm sorry, dude.
For me, I think if you do that, then the game becomes easy.
Easy?
Yes, because like for me, when I'm playing against somebody, like all the ramifications and all the possibilities that I need to think about, you know, they get significantly simpler if you take away a rival.
This is true.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like now the game becomes more streamlined. We go back to I don't know, like set 7. So,
I think Brawly 6, Beerus, and Cooler could be potentially like looked at, because those do a lot of things for their rival.
Like, I mean, right where I'm at, I feel like Goku Gohan feels the most fair.
It is.
I feel like
It
that's
is,
the most
for
fair
sure.
arrival. Like that's like it's really powerful, right? But like, it doesn't
It's-
feel that bad. Like
It's
getting
okay.
Beerus or Cooler or Brawly is so backbreaking. It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
is awful.
Or
So, like,
my favorite arrival is Zuma's super combo into Bergamo. into Bergamo.
no, exactly.
God,
That's what
I was gonna say,
that's
so
what I
help
would
me
do.
God, you say Bojack.
No, bro, because
At this point, like, if this is in video format, can we get a counter for how many times?
bro,
Combo Bojack?
Bergamo's a 2-cost arrival, bro.
Bro, I'm
Dude.
just saying, like, I got ripped on for talking about the girl every single time. Like, you were just like, Samasu super combos my wife.
I don't know. You know,
The wedding's in November.
It's-
Y'all are like,
It's the best super combo in the game.
I don't know.
I don't disagree.
no.
I think there's only like
Oh,
3 viable
oh,
ones.
you guys
It's
are
like
wrong.
what?
You guys are
Beerus?
wrong. You
It's
guys
like
are wrong.
Samasu, Beerus, Paragus.
You guys are wrong, man. I'm sorry. The best
Oh,
survival
I'm sorry,
card,
Android 18. 4.
the best survival card is the Bardock Warcry because it's a free 2 energy. I'm sorry.
That's true. You're right.
We need to do like an emergency errata to give like Bardock and Bergamo unique. Like that just needs to happen.
I think all the arrival cards should have had unique.
That would be sweet. I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, that would you
Unique,
guys
what do you
be
mean by
okay with that if they just restricted like most of the arrival cards and stuff to 1?
Yes.
Oh, like Ultimate, you mean?
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
so-
You can only have one in play.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
One.
unique.
Okay. Unique. Okay.
It's a new keyword that got released with the new Unison expansion stuff. It's basically
I was not aware of that. I'm
Unfortunately,
sorry.
like, I think
You're
the
good.
ship has kind of sailed on that one because they said like I think they said in the anniversary box that
I know.
Rangers Warcry is in the anniversary box, right? So that means like that card's probably already gone off to the printers at this point.
I don't care. It just needs to happen.
It's like they operate something like 9 months ahead of us, 6 to 9 months ahead of us. So it's just like
It just needs to happen. You
like,
can
if-
just
when they're
those
supposed
3
to come
rival
out, like,
cards.
July, August, or whatever.
I think
So,
August.
like, it's been done. Like if they either they already thought of it and changed it and are waiting to announce it, or it's it's not
Like
gonna happen.
if you look at the game, like a game state, you know how many times people have multiple Bergamos and Bardocks and arrival cards out in
Yeah.
play. Just imagine if you can only have one of those in play. Like
Yeah,
the game it'd just be totally changed.
And it
The thing
makes
that's
it
mad-
makes
the thing that's
so
maddening
particular a
about
little
it
bit.
is that every yellow leader gets that. Like every.
I know.
Yep.
Like, it's absolutely maddening. Like the things you look at other colors. Like you look at like red. It's like if your leader is a Frieza army, or if your leader is Universe 7, like
Right.
or like is a red Universe 7. And then you get like if your leader is like Dr. Wheelo or like a Black Machine Mutant. Like it's so restrictive. What is Bergamo or what is Raiders work? If your leader's yellow, oh, so like the whole color. Yeah.
You know what's really sad though is even if you were to ban Surge Q, then people would finally play Jiren as much as they should have always been playing it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like it's like
Or
if you ban
Gohan
Surge Q,
just
everyone
to get
goes
back
on-
Bardocks.
Exactly.
Yeah, like everyone will literally just play Jiren with the same deck, and that's what's so annoying about it.
Of course.
If you banned Surgeku and Piccolo were banned tomorrow, everyone will literally just play 3-color Jiren, and then for what's his name, for Piccolo, you might have to get more.
I don't think Jiren can do 3-color that well.
No,
I
I
think
don't think
it's
so.
it's
Yeah,
hard. They take a lot of slots for the U11 cards in there to kind of fit another color. I tried it. It's hard.
It's just mono yellow or green yellow.
Yeah.
Yep.
For Jiren.
Agree.
Yellow blue. I think
No, yellow blue's trash. We all know it is.
I tried to make it work. It's just not as good as green
you guys
yellow.
got it.
I'll tell you,
Point is, like-
Broly's really good with yellow blue though. The yellow Broly leader. That deck's actually really good.
Yeah.
People would play that deck more. People would play Zamasu Super Combo more.
Maybe.
What are we up to? 14. Counter at 14.
That was just like an honest take though. That wasn't like me trying to push the card on anybody.
Fair.
But yeah, no. So I think state of the game is. I think it's weird, man. I think it's so weird.
It is.
I mean,
I think it's like.
Go ahead.
I think it's like you pick one of like the 5 to 6 leaders, and if you're out of that realm, it's just like you're there just to have a good time.
It-
Or you're just-
No, your thing is you don't even have a good time.
yeah, exactly.
Like you have such an awful time because it's like when you're playing against one of the top 5 strategies in the game, your deck is just so much worse than theirs.
Yep.
I'm gonna say it. I'll be the guy that says it. I personally don't like the current state of the game. That's why I'm so looking forward to Unisons. I personally don't like it at all. I hate the fact that everyone's just playing mid-range good stuff or hyper-aggressive strategy that feels incredibly awful to sit across from if you don't have like a somewhat decent draw or you're on Surge.
But
They're just on this like dirtily does nothing, no late game blue-green X deck. Like, I just hate the way that everyone's playing the game right now.
I gotta say though, it's because of how people are playing it. You know, it's the decision that people are playing. Because there's so many things that you can still do and be aggressive. You know, but just everybody.
Oh
no
yeah,
one
I don't
takes
mind
that
playing.
risk.
I think the Jiren deck's broken. I don't mind playing against the Jiren deck because like I feel like there are things that I can do to get around their BS, and I actually like that mental exercise. I hate the fact that when I sit across from Surge Q, I know I just am going to play a grindy 20-plus minute game where I'm not allowed to do anything because I get punished for actually trying to participate in the game or like engage with it at all.
Yeah.
That's what people.
Right.
That's what people were saying when they were watching. When I streamed the PPG event last weekend, and I was playing Green Vegito. I played against Surge Q 2 rounds in a row. I lost the first time against them because I made a play I played a Rebrian and then KO'd everything. I swung with the Rebrian to make sure I can get it tapped so nothing happened to it. And then I hadn't swung with my leader yet. And so I had to ask myself, do I swing with my 25k double strike leader to draw a card? Or do I pass so they don't like, you know, super combo. And so I was just like, well, it's just so counterintuitive to not swing. I'm just gonna swing. So I swing, and they're like, Beerus super combo, Bean, and then they play a Cooler and a Beerus arrival, like kill my Rebrian. Like I was just like, wow. I was just like,
Sick.
But you got your 4-drop with Rebrand, right?
I should have just. I mean, whatever, but
Yeah.
I should have just passed.
That's
I know.
exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you have to either just kill them in like the first 3 turns of the deck, like Bibbidi.
Yep.
Make sure that they can never untap with a deck like Jiren, or just play something like Piccolo or 21 where you're just like, I'm just not gonna. Until I can guarantee that you are dead, I'm never attacking.
Basically.
Yeah, I know we're saying that we hate how the game is being played or like that strategy of like being punished, but sadly, it's a very efficient way of playing the game. It's not like it's
Absolutely.
it's like it's one of the better strategies, which is sad.
No, it is.
I
It is
actually-
the best strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I usually like playing a strategy like that, like a counterpunch strategy. I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
I don't like that this game lacks the tools to really get around that, except for like a select few cards. So like, and the thing is that the game is a game of card advantage, and there are so few leaders in the game that can get around this problem without just being so far behind on card advantage.
I think one thing, if we could look back and change one thing, we should have just kept a rival with red green only.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because now Red Green doesn't have anything.
It has alliance.
No. What I mean, like anything
No,
playable.
well, they're like the thing is like compare Gogeta, the original rival card that like was. Remember when that was like a $15 card, red green Gogeta?
Yeah.
Yep.
Compare that card to like Cooler, or Brawly, or Beerus. It's like it's not even, we're not
their
even in the
text
same
boxes.
conversation. it feels like.
Compare their text boxes. Easy.
Yeah.
You know what's sad is actually Gogeta's Fair can actually do its auto once per turn.
Yeah, you can only do it one. You can only use one Gogeta on turn.
Yep.
Then you can, no, actually, no, here's the perfect example. Compare Gogeta to Rebrand Massive Love.
Yeah, it's true.
Rebrand Massive Love can be used as many times as you want a turn, and you get it when it leaves the field, on top of it when it enters.
Yeah, seriously.
So it's like, yeah, you kind of, like, the power creep is obvious. Like, they introduced the color pairs set by set by set, and it's so obvious. It's like, the original Arrival cards, except for, like, at least if Bojack is, like, an exception. Like, because tapping anything is kind of busted. But like the original, like as time goes on, the Arrival cards just get more and more busted each set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree.
Like I'm super stoked for Series 10 where they have like a 1-mana better version of Beerus No Holds Barred, and it's in like
Oh God, don't say that.
yellow something. Yellow pick a color. Because it's obviously going to be in yellow.
No, bro, it has to be green.
Yeah, no,
Make it green.
we all have to be prepared for the
Dude,
reality that yellow is gonna continue probably being the best color.
Nah, dude, it's just gonna be a yellow secret rare unison with Arrival, dude. It's gonna happen. It's gonna
Oh,
make
bro, a secret rare that's a unison? That would be sexy.
Nah,
That'd be
not
cool.
really.
That'd be
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool.
It would be a busted secret.
Nah, dude.
Nah, man, it's gonna be. I mean, I don't know what's gonna change between now and Series 10. That's gonna like make yellow worse. I guess is like the problem. It's like there's not enough information. But right now, I feel like the only viable strategies are either you're playing a Surge Q mid-range deck, or you're playing to tap them out, or you're not playing the game at all and waiting until turns 6, 7, and 8 to win the game.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I say. That's
Yep.
like Piccolo at 21 could just sit there and be like, "Yeah, is it turning the tide time yet?"
Yep, basically that is.
That's literally. Is it turning the tide time yet?
Is it Fire time yet?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I think we covered the state of the game. Last topic I want to talk about is I just want to talk about the unisons that we saw, as well as the Series 10 cards that we saw this past Friday. Frisco, I'm going to start with you and your favorite card,
Oh man,
the Red Vegito Unison of Might.
I think that card's just dumb. I think that card has the ability to change the game state of what we know as a Dragon Ball Super card game. Just like 90% of everyone's deck right now is being played by its skill. Arrival, Overwhelm, Counterplay. Like none of that matters once Vegito hits the board. And right now there's no interaction to it. So if you tell me there's a card that costs 4 that tells me my opponent can't use the cards in their deck, the card's stupid. Like if you would just interject that as a battle card right now and give it deflect, it would be the best card in the game.
You may be correct. And
Like-
that's one of the reasons why we're talking about being hopeful for the future. My big issue with it is that it costs 4.
Yeah,
That's my
that's
first.
what I was
My
going.
first big issue is that it
Yep.
costs 4. My second big issue is that it can be played in search queue.
The thing is to that point is like we always I tend to find myself going back into like, oh man, this is like a turn 4 play, you know, and then I go back and like, wait a minute, games go to turn 8, so I'm good. Yeah, turn 4 is pretty safe.
Well, the thing is, like, we have to remember that the effect goes for both turns. So the turn that you play it, you're free to you're free
know.
to
That's
attack
what I'm
without
saying.
getting punished, which
That's what I'm
feels
saying.
amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I had to correct my mindset, right? Because I'm still like in the mindset of like, oh crap, there's an aggro deck out there that is gonna kill me by turn 4 if I'm not ready. But then again,
Right.
nobody's playing it, so why should I care? If like the play is something as strong as Vegeta, that is, I'm gonna be okay. You know, that's the point. I had to like correct myself. Like, wait a minute, no, there's no baby, there's no storm, there's no Jiren aggro because nobody plays it. There's no
And it's
Goron,
like-
nobody's playing it. So
If
yeah,
if only
should be good.
Red had tools to elongate the game.
What do you mean?
It's a joke because his board wipes, his beers, no holds barred. You
Topo.
could do Topo. It's like you could have Brawly Crown or Retribution take their cards out of their hand too. It's like, all right, cool.
So we're thinking best homes for this is probably Surge Q and Beerus.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm kind of curious if I could try to jam it in SS3 just because you can try to do it on its natural turn 4, turn 5 with 5 energy, and
Of
I don't even
course you
care
will.
if you get 1 or 2 blue energy. I don't even care, but just knowing that you can stop them from playing a game and just do it on a turn that you have energy open feels pretty good too. But I don't know if that's gonna be good or not. Who knows?
Feels tease.
These. All right. Next one I want to get over is probably the one that's getting the most the most talk right now, and that's Zeno Cosmic Unison. Card's already proven to be busted as written.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Coolest thing about it is that it does make set 2 Goku Black Leader playable. Which is,
Yeah.
which is neat.
The card that they showed with it actually is the one that caught my eye the most, obviously because of what it is. It's a Zamasu leader, Divine Ruin Bringer.
Yeah.
So the Zeno with the few Zamasu, like I promise you that seems just busted to me. Like
Oh,
So
with the
you-
10 drop and just
no. The leader. The leader
Oh,
says
okay,
when he
yeah, yeah.
attacks, and it's not once per turn. When he attacks, draws a card. Then
Yeah,
you can basically pop one of your own energy to either kill anything your opponent controls or get dual attack. So what you do is you literally
Ramp with Zeno.
plus you ramp with the Zeno, spend the energy, and then the Zeno energy that was going to go away
Yeah.
anyway, you just you eat it with Zamasu and just draw 2 cards. That just seems absurd.
You know what's great about dual attack and triple attack? It gets around Sabasi super combo.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, no, a draw 2 leader is always good. Like
Well,
draw
it's not
2
even
after
just
every
draw
turn.
2. It's a dual attack.
Yeah.
Dual attack, draw 2 leader. So I was like, oh, okay, so like, that's just nuts, right?
You know, we could use your energy on too is Manaka. Give him double strike too.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably a real deck. Like if we just do
I wasn't
Zamasu
joking.
no, but
Yeah,
like,
you were.
seriously, with Manaka, with Zeno, with Ultra Instinct Kamehameha, with like Unbreakable FTC, the leader can literally just probably be a Voltron deck.
Well, yeah, no, you can charge for turn, play a Manaka. No, you charge for turn, use Zeno, play a Manaka with the energy, sack the energy, give your leader dual attack for the turn, swing.
Yeah. And beat him, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Wow, it's like you're almost better than the red Vegeta leader that came out in the expansion.
I mean, he was better by default because he was a blue leader. I'm sorry.
This is true. Being blue is better. So I
Yeah.
think that's cool. I think the Goku Black deck is cool, but I just think that the deck has to like open broken because the deck doesn't draw any cards.
Exactly. That's Goku Black's problem. You have to rely on your life. Yep.
And this is where we all go. We do it with a different leader.
Yeah,
Facts.
I was actually thinking like what you could do with Zeno is like turn 4 Gogeta with the Gogeta leader, the starter leader too. So you can like just mill, and then the energy gets popped in the discard, so you can fuel the drop pretty relatively easy because of the leader's burst as well. And turn 4 Gogeta doesn't seem too bad.
Agreed.
You're revived.
Oh, I'll go get 7. Okay.
Yeah, and he has to be a blue leader, a mono blue leader. So I think Gogeta is the best burst leader for blue. That is.
The unison that a lot of people didn't talk about, but I really like. I like the green Bardock unison a lot.
Yes.
Has the auto when your opponent combos, you may place up to 1 card from their combo area in the drop area, and then if you do, negate the skill for the turn, which that we know from experience playing against 30k Broly that this effect is very relevant. And then you have the activate main. She's one of your green battle cards with energy cost 1 and KO it. If you do, your opponent discards a card. So
Sandy Cater has been pointing out that it was like really good with World Martial Arts.
yeah, the green Goku.
Yeah, the Green Goku. Like that's really cool. The first card I thought of when I read it was the Green Topo and Jiren that's absurd.
That's really good too.
So I was like, this card just feels great in Jiren.
You could play
Double green seems
yeah,
rough, but yeah, I agree.
Jiren hand control. Like you could play it.
Yep.
And then it has -3 activate main. This card gets plus 5k and triple attack. I think this is really cool because it's either going to be pressuring the leader, or as a board clear, or pressuring an opposing unison.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I actually saw it. Like I'm just gonna focus on your unison.
Mm-hmm. So I think this card is really cool. I actually really like the art on these because it's almost like they're all full arts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except for the Vegeta that was shown because it's with Yamcha because Yamcha, unfortunately. I like Yamcha, but they shafted the man.
And then, of course, I think we all have to talk about the yellow one. Pat, did you see the yellow one? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, God.
Hold on, just refreshing my...
Gogeta Dynamic Unison. He's dynamic, bro.
Well, Pat reads it. I'm just so happy that the good cards are Gogeta and Vegito.
But then again,
cool.
they're yellow.
What is this card? Like, Winter Orb? Winter Orb, Static Orb just has Static Orb as an ability. Seems good. So I don't know yeah. So what, you just pay 4 and you're just like, alright, cool, you don't untap next turn.
Yellow Jiren Doggos, baby.
Yeah, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so it's got a good filter ability.
Oh, the search cool.
Yep.
Yeah. No, your leader has to be mono yellow for the
Has to be mono yellow?
for the
top
for the permanent. It has to be, which I think it's worth it.
The permanent's really good defensively. Yeah, no, this card's insane for 2.
Well, the thing is, like, when you arrival, like, and you tap out for arrival, that's like a free 5k. It's like, oh, I'll arrival, and like you 2 for 1 or 3 for 1, and then you get to save a card and not actually have to combo another card. It's pretty cool.
It's good on defense too, man. Like,
Just saying.
yeah, so
No,
it's just
then
good
when
on
you-
defense. It lets you fill your drop for spark. Like, it's just gonna be so disgusting, dude. Because like people are just gonna go +1 with this card too insane.
That's just making Raiders Warcry even better too.
Yeah, because Raiders Warcry, like, sometimes you don't need like the 3rd or 4th copy in your
Exactly. Cause
So,
they swing with leader
this
first
card's
and
nuts. This
Or
card's
getting rid of
nuts.
Saiyan Instincts out of your hands, too. It's like free draw, too, without even interacting with your opponent. You're like, cool.
Right. Exactly.
So this card's nuts. Yeah.
The card is disgusting.
And then you guys saw the blue Gogeta Unison that
Yes.
like it's kind of blurry, but you can kind of read the effect where it's like as long as you have like a blue Saiyan guard in rest mode, like your leader like can't be attacked or something.
Yeah, it's like it's like if your leader is a blue Saiyan and you have a blue Saiyan in rest mode,
You
your
can't
leader-
take
your
damage
leader-
during
your leader
attacks.
can't take damage.
Bro, Freehan's so good.
Freehan's cool.
Freehan, and then if you're SS3 leader playing that card is gonna be pretty dope.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best home for it is by SS3.
Yeah.
I saw today earlier there was a Goku Black that was shown as well.
Yeah, it has it gains a marker when it gets switched to active mode by a leader effect, so that means there's probably going to be a leader that comes out that supports it.
Yeah, it's a 3-drop like 15k blocker, and then it has like
It's weird that it has blocker.
I think it has like a +1 to discard a card to draw a card, and then like it has like -2 to kill anything. I was like, yeah, sign me up. Like that sounds great. If you told me there was a 3-drop 15k blocker that kills a guy when you play it, like anything, literally anything, I'd be like, yeah, that's great. It has deflect too. Like if there's a 3-drop 15k deflect that killed anything.
Oh yeah, it
and
ignores
it's a 4-drop,
barrier
like,
too,
yeah, you
right?
got it.
Yeah, no, it
Yep.
does.
It's okay. I think it.
Which
Yeah.
one are we talking about? Which one?
There was a Goku Black that was shown.
Oh, the Goku Black. Oh, yeah, okay. No, because I was just reading the Broly as well, the yellow one, and you can switch battle card with ignoring barrier as well. So like, this actually seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you can trigger Bergamo, also.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that card's like it's definitely not as good
It's
as
not
the
broken,
yeah,
but it's good.
it's
a
not
good
as
card.
good as the Gogeta Unison, but I think
Yeah.
it's good for yellow.
It's like a budget version.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an uncommon, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Goku Black is just -2. It's the battle card has to be 4 or less, and it doesn't ignore barrier.
Lame, whatever.
Yeah.
That's my boy again, dude.
Sorry, bro.
Last.
Masu and Goku Black cannot catch a break.
Sorry.
The problem is, dude, Goku Black can destroy energy, bro. That's the problem.
This is true. Last card I want to talk about, and this is because I went over and read the amount of text that was on the new yellow Gotenks leader.
Oh my goodness, yes.
On the Awakened side.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, sorry, I haven't read it yet. Let's go.
It
When
does a
it's
lot.
When he draws a card.
When it activates an extra card, draw 1 card. Okay. And choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rescue. Auto once per. Okay, that's already a lot. So that has a 3rd auto. Cool. Auto once per turn. When you activate Union Fusion, this card gets critical and 5k for that. Yikes.
Yikes.
Like, why?
Leader seems pretty decent.
It's pretty decent.
I mean, just the second auto, like when
That's crazy.
You get to tap something, so you're just like, all right, I'll tap your thing, and then it's like
by the way, of
Bergamo.
course the Gotenks as well, because like every Gotenks just feels like it has a mountain of text, right?
Hey man, it's Gotenks Adolescence.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
yeah.
What is
He's
he
older,
from?
bro.
This is from I forget the name. Crap.
Is that GT, right? It's from something different.
No, it's not GT. It's
Is it like that hero show?
Heroes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
I think he's good.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put the kibosh on this. We've been going for 56 minutes. I think now is a really good time to wrap up. I think this was a really good first show. Hopefully we can do this on a weekly basis. That's the plan, to make sure you guys get the content you want. Thank you so much, Frisco, for your time. Thank you, Jose, for your time, and of course, Pat, thank you for being our son.
We love you.
I love you so much.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe, everybody,
Yes.
during this coronavirus.
Pito, 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 pito. Yeah.
Is that it? Are you gonna continue doing the song?
Oh, pito, pito, pito. I thought I was getting like the slap in the face to shut up. Okay.
No.
Pito, 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 pito. Yeah. Chicken and corn on a cup. Yeah. Mama. Yeah. Pito, pito, pito.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk,
Pito, pito, pito.